thank you so much for coming back to my channel. I am Bella Basso, aka Psychic Bella Love from psychicbellalove.com. You can book your own personal private reading with me on my site, and you can use coupon code BELLA20 for 20% off your first reading. That will be only by phone appointments. I do email readings, and I also have a new client special that you can do 5 questions for $45, or you can do past life or a palm reading. Those will be done by video or email, so contact me through the website to book that for you. Otherwise, if you want to book a phone appointment, you can just go ahead and book and pay through the site. So we're going to get started. We're going to be talking about kind of like a lot of little different things, you know, pop culture stuff, entertainment things. Nothing that I felt like was like, oh my God, this is such a big deal that it needs its own reading, you know, but just little questions that we had here and there. And so I figured I would just kind of do like a little group thing, you know, and obviously we all need the distraction right now with everything that's going on. I know I needed it. So the first thing I wanted to ask Spirit about is I just saw online Lamar Odom and his girlfriend or fiance Sabrina Parr broke up. So I want to see if they're going to get back together. Because I know from what I've heard, it's kind of a toxic relationship. Like, people in his life weren't super happy with her being around. So I want to see what is going to come of that. Spirit, thank you for joining us today. Thank you for bringing clarity, understanding, answers to everybody. All the questions that we're going to ask, none of it is meant with malicious or malintent, only to seek and gain clarity and understanding. Please bless all that we ask about in this reading and bless all who watch. Thank you for joining us, Spirit. Okay. Spirit, Lamar Odom and Sabrina Parr, completely done for good. Try to keep the readings shorter, guys. It's just really hard because I like to be very detailed. And also, you know, we start getting into stuff. Like I say all the time, I mean, my North Node is in Cancer and my Jupiter is in Scorpio. So, of course, I'm going to be a psychic anyways. And, of course, I'm going to do it full time. But I'm also a nosy biatch, and I like to know things. So once I start digging in, I'm like, oh, let's ask this, let's see that, what about this? You know? So it very easily gets, whoop, the next thing you know, 45 minutes in, and I'm having to delete apps off of my phone so that I can have storage space. Okay, right now, because we have this 8 of Cups coming up as the current situation, there is a 10 of Swords. He's very upset. You know, he's showing up as the King of Swords, though. There was a lot of arguing from him, like, towards her before the split happened. I keep hearing, like, lots of accusations, lots of nagging, and him just sort of being at this place where he's like, oh my God, like, back off, woman. Like, I've been doing everything that you've been telling me to do, like, for the last couple years. I don't want to just have to keep doing that. Like, give me a break. So it was a lot of him being fed up and not wanting to continue to, you know, go through the same crap, basically. And he was starting to put his foot down, and she did not enjoy that. You know, some of the stuff that she's saying as the reason for why things ended is true, you know, because we do get this Devil card as like the reason, and it's temptations. It's being pulled back into temptation. It's doing things I shouldn't have been doing, you know, or that I said that I was done with. So I hate that I do see that coming up. I also see him being extremely focused and worried about his money. Something about, like, he didn't make what he thought he was going to when he was with her, And now it's like we're running out or we're running low. With this Two of Pentacles, I don't feel like they're completely done with each other. It's more about like her even saying anything. With this Page of Wands and this 10 of Wands is to make him come back to her. Like, she feels like if I control this narrative and if I control you through the narrative, you'll come back and then you'll behave the way I want you to. So even though she's the one that ended it, she's doing it in a sense of trying to just gain control of the situation and of the person all over again, because she comes up as the Empress. She's trying to create. She's trying to make things go her way. She's trying to be the one that's in charge and seeing out how everything is going to go. With the Chariot card, I don't feel like this breakup lasts for very long, to be honest with you. But she does come up as the Queen of Cups in reverse, so she's not very kind to him. She's not very emotionally open to him. It's very much more almost at times like trainer, drill instructor, boot camp, like that kind of energy towards him, where it's like, I have to keep you on track. I have to make sure you're doing this stuff. Well, that's great if he wants to hire you to do that, but you're his girlfriend, you're his fiance, you're supposed to be marrying him. Like, he doesn't need that. Like, he actually wants somebody who is very loving and like babies him almost. And it's just like, oh my God, Lamar, you're amazing. You know, Chloe did that. That was like the big thing that he, you know, was drawn to Chloe for. And this girl does not. Like, she's very tough on him. So it has caused like a lot of difficulties, because I feel like with his 9 of Cups, it's like he's always looking back at like how things were for him like in the past in his other relationships. And it's like, if I could make you be a Chloe, like towards me, like be more emotional, be more like supportive, be this, be that, then like I would be happy. But he can't. He's realizing that, and he knows like you're a different person, you operate differently, you're completely different, and I just can't like be happy with that. Almost, it's like, I mean, I definitely feel like in a sense, even though him and Chloe have been separated for quite a long time, and I don't know if he was dating anybody else in between, but I feel like almost like he thought that him and Chloe were gonna get back together. Didn't happen, because I got this 2 of Cups in the past position in reverse. So it's like, I thought, you know, I was going back to that, but that's not what happened. So I would say maybe this girl's kind of a little bit of a rebound. But I do get the 10 of Cups. I do get that they're going to be back together, but Spirit's saying it won't last. So they're not 100% done with one another yet. So that is it. We're going to move on. I want to ask Spirit, this one's going to take a little more time out of everything probably. Kelsey, Megan's friends. I want to know, like, what is going on with her? How is she feeling towards Megan? What is her energy towards that? And what is going to happen coming forwards, okay? So, Spirit, please tell me about Megan Thee Stallion's friend, Kelsey. How does Kelsey feel towards Megan? And what is going to happen between the two of them and their relationship going forwards? And you guys leave like the best, most insightful comments too. I love it. I love how you guys like have your own perspective on things. You understand, you know, like you guys explain things in this crazy way to me. So I love it. And if you happen to see my other video about the candle, that I turned it off like a couple hours ago, I've been sitting in my room with the door closed, and I could smell it so much in here, and it's in my like kitchen dining area, which is the first place that you walk into when you walk into my condo. So definitely smelled up the whole place. I don't live in the biggest place, but it's not tiny either. So let's see. So if you want a candle that will smell up like the whole entire like downstairs of your house or your whole entire apartment, Sand and Fog TJ Maxx. It was like 16 bucks or 14, something like that. I actually bought like another one for my son's grandma because she's always like, you have so many candles, or I love your candles. So I'd had gotten her a different one from them that actually smelled way better than this one, but gotta be okay. There's definitely information that's coming to light right now with this Faith card. She's really trying to figure out when is the right time for her to speak. She feels like she had some opportunities and she let them pass because she was hoping that her and Megan were gonna have some sort of like reconciliation or communication about things. However, it didn't exactly like go down that way. And so now she's at the point, Spirit is saying, where she actually feels like she was betrayed. I know there's been rumors about like supposedly Kelsey was with Tori first, then she got COVID, she had to go quarantine and heal, and that during the time that she was gone, Tori and Megan hooked up. I'll ask that and see if that's what's going on, but with this Three of Swords, you know, it to her, it feels like somebody else was involved and like caused a betrayal and a fracture in this relationship. Because right after that Three of Swords, we have this Death card, and then we have the World in reverse. So it's like there was a betrayal and end to this friendship, and then things got really crazy and they like completely flipped to a place where neither one of us had ever seen things go before. Okay. She's been waiting with this Ace of Cups and the Judgment card to speak because she's not sure, like, if I say something on social media, even if it's defending myself, is it going to help or harm anybody's case? You know, because she's looking at this through the lens of, you know, Tori's got a court case, maybe Megan's gonna have something coming up. Like, I don't want to cause any, you know, issues with that. But see, like, Tori comes up as the Emperor because obviously, like, let's just be real. If the story is true that first he was hooking up with Kelsey and then he upgraded to Megan once Kelsey wasn't around anymore, and then he was supposedly hitting on Kylie that night, he just got too big for his britches, thought he was like the finest, hottest thing on earth. It's like, I'm getting the girls, I'm getting the clout, I'm getting the money, you know, I'm finally like that guy in my head, you know, the Drake or whatever you want to call it. And so it definitely, you know, was the ego that set everything off. Now, she actually, right now in this moment, like when everything immediately happens, because again, like I said, he's the only winner in this situation to a degree, because you had all the girls. You got greedy, but you had all the girls, right? Like, but the girls are sitting here fighting over you. And not in a good way. Not in the way that we expect. Not in the way that, you know, like we sort of see like the girls fighting over who's going to be the guy's girlfriend. Because I feel like whatever this fight was in the truck that happened led up to all of this. Because we do have this Knight of Swords, which is a quick, fast fight that like blew up out of control. It's like, they were mad at him. They weren't mad at each other at first, actually. It was like, you played both of us. We're not mad at each other. Like, they like actually were like ready to team up against him. However, the way that Megan has gone about things, and Kelsey really is starting to see it as a betrayal. And I think that at the moment there was such shock. And if you are so used to always taking a certain person's side, always being on their team, always being their friend, your instinct kicking in that moment of shock might be to, you know, be like, oh, I'm going to go in my friend's direction. However, what Spirit is saying is with this, you know, whole thing, it's like it didn't work out that way. And I feel like after the fact, when she had time to sit down and think about things, you know, see things clear, she started seeing it as, why would my friend do that to me? And then the more that's happened since, she's seeing it as even more of a betrayal. So once she feels like there is an opportunity and it's not going to affect anything in a bad way, because I actually feel like she flipped from being on Megan's side to Tori's side now, she will speak as long as she feels like it's not going to bring any harm to Tori. So it might be that, you know, like the first time that she speaks is during some sort of deposition or testimony or whatever, but she is going to speak just as soon as she understands or knows or feels comfortable that it's not going to cause anybody to like have to go to jail behind this or anything like that. Now, again, you know, we've had a few people come up where they get my second Three of Swords, but here she is again with that second Three of Swords. So it's like the first one was feeling the betrayal of you were hooking up with the guy that I was hooking up with. This one is, since all of this has happened, you've continued to betray me. Page of Wands, you know, like she's seeing Megan as somebody who's sneaky and deceptive. She sees Tori that way as well with the King of Wands, but she sees him as being more in control of himself. Like, he's smarter about things. He's not gonna just go run off at the mouth. He's not like she feels, to be honest with you, Megan plays a lot of the Hollywood games. Tori doesn't. Like, Tori's not with the shit. He's like, I'm not signed to anybody. Y'all are trying to fuck me over. You're trying to get my career. So I don't gotta play those games. Whereas Megan's new. She is trying to build a career for herself. She's trying to build longevity. She doesn't want to be one of those one-hit wonders or, you know, one of those girls like a Dream Doll, for example, that they're continually putting out music. Yeah, they make the blogs, but are we really buying it? Are we really listening to it? Is anybody like, oh my God, Dream Doll's the best rapper ever? No, Megan's trying very hard not to fall into that trap that so many female artists like can find themselves in. She's trying to be the next Cardi B, the next Nicki Minaj, where, you know, every song that they hop on is gonna chart and everybody's gonna listen to it just because it's Cardi or Nicki, even if you don't even really like the song, right? She's trying to make that for herself with this Magician card. I'm trying to create my life. I'm trying to do all these things. So with this Fool card and this Seven of Cups and the Six of Cups and then the Seven of Coins, she's looking at it as, I have to play the game. I have to do what they tell me to do. I have to do things in a certain way because I'm not going to let myself get to this point. Then something happens and everything falls off. But see, the thing is with this Page of Swords, Four of Coins, and then the Nine of Swords, Megan went about things in the wrong way, and Chelsea feels that. Like, she feels like, Megan, like, if you would have told the real story about what happens, then people would have just been like, man, that sucks, like, you know, or whatever. But they would have dropped it, if that makes sense. Like, it would have been fine. It wouldn't have been that big of a deal. Like, we wouldn't be in such a crazy place. And you tried to capitalize off of this, like a lot of people, a lot of stars would or whatever, but it blew up on you because you weren't being honest, is like what Spirit is saying that, you know, Megan or Kelsey feels towards Megan. Spirit, tell me, what is going to happen between Kelsey and Megan? Kelsey and Megan are going to be friends again? Are they going to keep fighting? How is Kelsey going to handle things going forwards? Because we're seeing that supposedly, like, she's hanging out with Megan's ops now or something. I don't know. You know, that's the problem with all of these people who become internet famous because of a connection to somebody or, you know, blow up or whatever. It's like there's so much stuff that happens that you see and hear about things, and it's like, did that really happen? There's so much to keep up on. Like, I'll try to go to shout out to Kyle in the Neighborhood Talk and go see, like, what's, you know, especially people are asking me questions like, oh, this happened, like, what do you think about that? And I'll try to go look at it. Like, there's so much stuff that they're constantly posting, which good for you, Kyle. You do a great job at it, but you know, sometimes I'm like, wait, who was that? What was that? Did that actually happen? Or are people just saying that, you know? Gotta take everything with a grain of salt. And disclaimer, everything in this video is alleged for entertainment purposes only. I gotta remember to keep doing that. We'll throw it in the middle there. Okay. Okie doke. Okay. You know, I don't think Kelsey is ever going to like end up in a relationship with Tori. But I keep getting this. First of all, he comes up as the King of Cups, followed by the Justice card. So there is some, you know, with this Three of Coins, there's something that he has to pay out, you know, as part of the justice for what happened here. It might be like I have to, you know, do 3 months in jail or pay some sort of fines or be on probation or something like that. It's not going to be like the worst thing ever. He's not going to prison for the rest of his life or anything like that. But it's like whatever it is, because Megan comes up as the Queen of Coins. Again, it ain't a Bella reading unless we drop a card. And they just fly off the table like when I'm pulling all my cards up to show you guys. So, Megan comes up as the Queen of Coins. You know, Tori came up as the King of Cups. Megan comes up as the Queen of Cups. Well, this is what is funny is as Megan coming up as the Queen of Coins with this Three of Swords and this Five of Coins, she's definitely not only unhappy with the outcome of this, you know, trial or whatever is going on or whatever Tori receives as his supposed punishment. She's not exactly thrilled about the outcome of it. And she ends up feeling very betrayed as well. So I think Kelsey shows up in here, and I think it is that she's going to testify, and she's going to testify in a way that makes it seem like she's taking Tori's side. Megan sees it as I'm telling the truth, just so you guys know. So whatever she does say, if it's like, you know, they call her to the stand and she's like, listen, we were all drunk, we, you know, got in an argument, somebody got pushed in the back seat, the gun fell, he picked it up and accidentally shot it off, or whatever it is, because I keep getting this whole story of like people wrestling around and the gun going off is what happened. But the story that's being told is something much different. And so it's like, but I had to tell the truth. Like, they put, like, I'm not going to go to jail behind you. I'm not going to lie to save your ass. I'm not going to cover anybody. So she sees it as, I'm just telling simply exactly what happened that night. But Megan sees it as, you should have got up there and stuck to the same story that I had. And because you didn't, now this thing that I'm, you know, here's this result that I wasn't thrilled with. This death card, you know, after that, their friendship is never, ever, because the Page of Swords, they're going to fight for years. Years. And not like fight like, you know, where we see people going back and forth and shading each other online or anything like that. It's more so like 10 years down the road when somebody's like, oh, did you hear that new Megan Thee Stallion song? Kelsey's like, that bitch, hell no, I didn't listen to it. Screw her, you know, or Megan being like, oh, she went and did this and this and this, you know. So they're not going to like each other for a long time. 7 of Coins, 4 of Coins, 9 of Swords, and 10 of Swords. Megan feels like this was money motivated. Also, something's coming in about some offer being made towards Kelsey. It might have been Megan's team trying to pay Kelsey. Like, look, we're going to get you a condo and we're going to pay for it for the rest of your life. And then you're going to get a brand new Rolls Royce and a stipend every year. This is what you need to go say. But with this world card, and it was in reverse. Sorry, I picked it up the wrong way. She's not accepting that. She's not taking it. And so Megan, when she's feeling betrayed by Kelsey opening her mouth and telling her truth, is going to think that somebody else paid Kelsey more or gave her some sort of better offer. So she's seeing it as a financially motivated betrayal towards her. The only one who actually wins in this situation, you guys, is Tori. King of Coins, King of Wands, Six of Wands, Ace of Coins. So even though he may end up having to serve time because it's something about like you weren't allowed to have that gun or whatever. I don't know if he has like previous charges against him that they're like, we can't, you know, whatever. But it definitely is going to, it's like people like him again. I think whatever is going to come out when Kelsey is in a place where she has to tell the truth and everybody finds out, I get that it is going to, in the court of public opinion, vindicate Tori in some way or another. Yeah, it does. But you know what's so crazy? It's just, Megan comes up as this Queen of Swords. There's this 10 of Coins in reverse. Page of Wands, 5 of Swords, and the High Priestess. Megan's going to look back and be like, I should have been more careful. Chelsea wasn't in my corner. So, you know, you guys, honestly, with this whole situation, everybody is so, like, has so much skin in the game. Everybody's been so concerned about protecting themselves, concerned about trying to spin this in a way that will make sense or make them seem like the better person or the victim or get some sort of attention or whatever you want to call it off of this, that I just keep getting this big thing of, you know, it's everybody's wrong and everybody's going to feel like the other person betrayed them. And especially being that Megan is going to feel like, well, Kelsey and Tori are on decent terms, like they somehow ganged up on her. But I would call it more so almost like trauma bonding than anything else. Like I said, I don't think that they're going to be like the best of friends. I don't think they're going to be in a relationship. I just see it as, you know, the only person who really holds the true keys as to what happened is Kelsey. She's sort of the tiebreaker. And when she comes out and says what she has to say, you know, opinions are going to change, feelings are going to get flipped around, and everybody's just going to be even more upset at one another. Whew, that was kind of heavy. It's kind of depressing. Like, I don't know what it is. I always feel bad. You know, friendships can mean so much to us. Those people can truly become a part of our family, and to have that fall apart, especially with somebody that you're so close to, especially at such pivotal points of your lives, is really difficult and really hard. So I just feel really bad for everybody. And none of this is a judgment against Megan. Like I said, this is all Kelsey's truth, Tori's truth. You know, everybody sees themselves as telling the truth, and everybody sees themselves as not the bad person in this situation. And so none of it is because, you know, anybody is like this horrible, awful person. And like I said, I'm not confirming that what Kelsey or Tori are going to say about it is true or not. I'm just saying I kept getting that there being a story where it's like, is there really like one person who did everything in the wrong sense? Like with the actual transgression that happened, with the actual assault, with the actual, you know, shooting, was it just a gun that went off and it was an accident because everybody was grabbing for it and it shot off in the floor of the car, hit somebody's feet, went out the window, and then that's what happened, you know? And who's really at fault there? Everybody and nobody. So we'll see. I don't know why. Every time I like even think about this, like I always just get this like thing of like kids wrestling around in the backseat in their parents' car while mom's yelling at them to knock it off as to what happens. Alrighty, so the last one that we are going to look at as far as right now is, and I have to, sorry, I'm pulling up my notes on my phone because I typed in a bunch of people that I had saved. Okay, Martell and Melody Holt. Okay. So these two people, and then the girlfriend's name is, or the mistress's name is Ariana. They're getting divorced. People are saying that the girlfriend's pregnant or his mistress or whatever. Apparently, I don't watch this show. I've seen people bring up stuff like if I'm watching like an Unwind with Tasha K or, you know, one of those where they're talking about a bunch of people from All Week and they get thrown in the mix too. All I know is that they're on some show on the OWN network, and then they have been married together for about 10 years, and then he's been cheating on her for 5, is what I gathered, because I did watch his Dr. Heavenly interview podcast, whatever you want to call it. So let's see. Are they going to get back together? Because I just keep seeing people being like, well, you guys have got back together before. You know. That's Melody Martell Holt. And the way that he was trying to spin it was like, oh, I made some mistakes and this and that. Boy, you made a 5-year mistake. It doesn't matter if you're like, oh my God, no, but you know, there was months where we didn't talk, and then me and Melody would start fighting, and then we would, you know, talk again or whatever. It doesn't matter, you know, that you continued to do it, dude. So for you to say, yeah, I knew it was wrong, then why didn't you just leave your marriage? That's the thing that I don't get about these people. Okay. Well, the first thing is Melody comes up as the Queen of Cups in reverse. She is completely emotionally close to this man. Like, I'm done with you. And the funny thing is, the Page of Coins, she's so emotionally closed off to him, but focused on the financial aspects. Do they have a business together? Like I said, I've literally never watched the show. I don't have the OWN network. I don't even barely watch TV anyways, but I especially don't watch anything on the OWN network, just because I don't have it and I don't really care to get into it. But I keep getting something about, because it's like the Palace of Wands, a business, and her being more focused on, I don't care like about me and you right now. I'm trying to figure out, how do we maintain this business? How do we keep our money flowing? How do we protect the kids? How do we take care of the things that we built together as everything else falls apart? Yeah, the Empress card. Ariana is definitely pregnant. Ariana, I don't know how you say her name. I am so sorry, guys. Yeah, she is definitely pregnant. So there's so much. I mean, before they even broke up, like for good, you guys, Palace of Swords, they were fighting non-freaking stop. However, this pregnancy that happened did blindside Melody. It blindsided Martell even more than it did Melody, to be honest with you. And with the Strength card, she did have to pull herself up to focus on what is most important in her life, and to, you know, it's almost like Spirit keeps talking about, if she really sat down and opened herself up, she would cry for 3 weeks straight. However, she feels like he doesn't deserve any more of her tears, and that there's so much more in front of her that's more important to deal with right now, that it's like, I'm not going to go there, and I'm not giving that to you. But honestly, I don't get any reconciliation cards here, which is surprising. Because I almost, like I said, the way that people that I kept seeing, people being like, oh, well, hopefully you guys can work things out and get back together. people have forgiven side babies before and this and that. But the thing is, like, the way that I get that Melody's looking at it, we fight, we get back together. We fight, we get back together. You say you're not going to do this stuff anymore, and then you do it again. And then I'm sitting here looking like Boo-Boo the Fool because I gave this man another chance or another baby or another business or another something, you know, and I have to stop doing that. Like, it doesn't work out for me. He just gets what he wants, and then he goes off again. And there's something also, it's like, why do you keep coming back to me? Why do you keep... Because he has been, with this Knight of Wands, he's been trying to work things out with her still. And to her, it's like, why? Like, you're the one, I leave you, you beg me to come back, and then the second that I do, you shit all over me and cheat on me again. And there's something here about, he fights with her a lot. I think that he's developed a pattern where he picks fights with her so he has an excuse to go out and do what he does. You know what I mean? To justify it to himself. Oh, she's being a bitch and this other woman understands me, so of course I would go there as a man. And it's talking about it being about him having to justify things to himself because he's actually not comfortable with his life and the way he is living it. Like, he knows he's doing wrong. But it's like, I just got so caught up in this toxic, crazy pattern of being all the way out there that, like, I don't know how to pull myself back in and rein myself in. 10 of Cups was flanking Ariane coming up as the Empress, the pregnant girlfriend. He's very unhappy with this situation. Like, he literally feels like a baby's a blessing. But it's like, I didn't want to have a baby with you. He doesn't respect that girl either. He really doesn't respect Ariane. Yeah. Tower card, she's completely done with him. She's never going back. She's going to find somebody else in a few years too, you guys. You know, with the Knight of Cups and the Ace of Cups, Martell will still try to get Melody back, and I feel like for years, he's going to be one of those exes, you know, that it's like, dude, we broke up 10 years ago. Why do you call me every 6 months and see if we can get back together? And it's like, those are the ones that I say Mercury retrograde for sure guarantees that some exes will come back. And it's always like those same exes that always try to come back during Mercury retrograde, and you're like, I don't have any unresolved issues with you. You have unresolved issues with me. Deal with them and move on. That's how Melody is going to feel about him. Palace of Coins, though, this girl's about to make some damn money for herself. Good money, too. By herself, for herself. So, go girl. Now, let's just ask before we end this. How are... I think I want to use that one. How are Martell and Ariane... I'm just going to say Ariane because I think that's how you say her name. I like Ariana Grande, so I always want to go Ariana Grande. How's Martell and Ariane's relationship? He claimed on the Dr. Heavenly interview, whatever it was, that like him and Ariane are not together right now. But he also kept dancing around actually answering any of her questions, so who knows? I don't exactly get the sense that they're going to end up married and, you know, a bunch of babies and all that stuff. But we'll see. He's going to leave her for somebody else. And then, after that, she's going to have to fight him for money, too, when he does. It's like, he gives her money, but like the bare minimum, and then she finds out like, wait, I could have gotten more for child support. And there's something about like he's gave her a lot of stuff over the years, but then it's like something about like he blames her for this. Like he's really resenting her for what's happened in his life. Like, this is really weird. Okay, so we have the Lovers in reverse, 9 of Cups, 2 of Wands, 10 of Wands in reverse. He really feels like, if you, like, it's almost like, oh, you harlot, you temptress, like you made me get into this, and then you made my marriage break up because you decided to go get yourself pregnant. Like one of those kinds of things. I feel like he does that to her a lot though, where he pens things on her. Like he really knows how to mess with that girl emotionally and trigger her. Yeah, Tower card, they're gonna break up too. And the Ace of Swords and the Chariot card, it's gonna be like pretty quickly after that baby is born. And when he walks away from her, I don't feel him actually going back and forth with her any longer. It's like, because with this Judgment card, this child, this announcement, whatever is going on with them, you know, and their relationship, it's like it puts the final nail in the coffin for them. And again, with this Magician card and the Strength card, Ariane's really gonna have to like not only pull herself up by her bootstraps and fight him for anything, because I keep getting 2 of Pentacles and 6 of Pentacles, and you know, here he is, the Knight of Wands, like running away from her. And it's like, you would buy me a car if I just said I wanted a new car, and now all of a sudden I'm asking you for a pack of diapers and you're like, I gave you $100 last week, why would you need more? And it's like the whole entire way that he deals with things with her is going to be really upsetting to her. So, I mean, you know, we all know it's very rare that men actually marry the mistress or whatever you want to call them. So I'm not really exactly that surprised, but I'm just like, dude, really? Like, at least be nicer to the girl. So anyways, guys, I hope that this helped. I hope that you all are having as amazing of a day as we can with everything that's going on and all up in the air. Again, like I've been saying every video, maybe when I get off this video, we'll have an announcement. It's killing me. But I gotta go make dinner, get things ready before I have to start on my evening appointments, guys. So thank you so much for watching, subscribing, tuning in, doing all the amazing things. I really, truly appreciate it. Please continue to do so. And if you wanted to book your own personal private reading with me, psychicbellalove.com. Use code BELLA20, all in caps, at checkout for 20% off your personal private reading with me. And I love you so much, and I will see you again soon. Bye.